With eldwater being so hard to obtain, you want to make the best use of it possible. And as a part of that best use, converting a 3-star adventurer to a 5-star adventurer, by the end of this video, you will have the definitive answer to whether or not it's worthwhile to make a 5-star hero on your own. Greetings and salutations, killers. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. If you're new here, welcome. It's a pleasure to talk to you. Consider clicking the subscribe button so that you can get all the information you need, so you can get all the eldwater, all of the certificates, everything this game throws at you in every event. It's going to be amazing. You'll love it, I promise. So I'm really excited to talk to you about all the insights and all of the ups and downs that I have discovered while trying to figure out which units, if any, I should be promoting from 3-star up to 5-star. Now, before we even begin, let me say, if you're staring at your waifu or husbando and they're 3-star and you want to make them 5-star, just do it. Just do it. You really, though, should watch this video to know what you're getting into, what advantages you have, and what big disadvantages you could be accruing. But outside of that, honestly, there's nothing that should be stopping you from upgrading your precious waifu or husbando. Just do it. Just do it. And let's go ahead and go through this together and figure out what's going to happen from it. Alright, killers, let's go. So in order to make this as easy as possible, I want to have a comparison. So I figured that I would go ahead and compare Xander and Zardan, because both of them are blue units, both of them are sword units. They're different types, but one's 3-star, one's 5-star. So I figured that would be a great comparison. Let's go ahead and dive into this first and take a look at their stats. This is one of the clearest ways to figure out what the differences are, and as you can see here, their hit points are really super comparable. There's about 100 difference in their strength. It's huge. Now, of course, I'm picking on Zardan here. He's one of the lowest attack values in the game right now, and conversely, Xander is one of the highest. So, I mean, like, of course it's huge. And in addition to that, there are different types. So, I mean, between that, it should compensate for everything. But honestly, if you do a quick cross cut of everybody's stats from 3 stars to 5 stars, that's just one big difference. 5-star units are going to have more stat points than a 3-star unit. It's just what's going to happen. But if you go ahead and take a look at this, let's take a look and see what this 100 strength is doing for us. If you just put that right on the field, right as it is, these are the damage numbers they're going to be dealing. They're dealing 15 damage from outside of each other. That's all Zardan's missing. Is a whopping 15 damage. That's not bad. But this damage calculation that I showed, whole link for the equation is down in the doobly-doo. Just giving you the brass tacks here. So if you go ahead and do something a little bit more normal, like we have a 40% strength buff from a dragon, and the elemental buff that we get, the 50% damage, let's go ahead and calculate what that would be just on here. Still not increasing strength for weapons or anything like that. Now you see that you know, we're like around 35-33 difference between the two. As you can see now, this is starting to really compound already. You see that we're adding just a couple of buffs, and this gap is growing a bit wider. The thing that you're going to face is that a 3-star unit promoted up to a 5-star is not going to be dealing as much damage as its 5-star counterpoint goes whenever you start factoring in multiple skills, once you start factoring in other sources of buffs. That's the big thing here. If you're just smacking the button, to be quite honest with you, there's like no difference. There's practically no difference between these two. But if you're actually stacking buffs, if you're trying to get the most out of them, yeah, you're going to see a big difference in damage once you get farther along. And now, of course, these are two different roles that are going on here, but you could easily see how somebody with a higher percentage being applied to a higher strength is just going to really push that damage barrier up and over the top. And it's definitely more common than you would think, because you already have different percentages of damage that you deal with every swing of the sword combo. So really, when it comes down to it, it's not going to be much if you're just sort of lazily doing this, but if you're putting the effort into your units, if you're going to invest and upgrade them all, you're going to start to notice a difference in the damage once you're in the high end of the game. So that's it. The answer is no. Hold on just a moment, because honestly, there is something else here to take a look at, and that is the cost of these units. So 3-star units are very easy to get a hold of compared to 5 stars. You could reasonably expect to get the 3-star that you're looking for, whereas the 5-star, even if you whale, you're not guaranteed to get them. I spend a lot of money on this game. If you haven't seen my summoning videos, go ahead and check out the playlist for them right now. I can't pick and choose. I can't be like, I want this one, I want this one, I want this one. The game's rates are terrible. So that's one thing to consider. The game knows that the 3-star units are not as good as the 5-star units, so it's not going to ask for as many resources from you. Let's take a look at what it asks you to give to each hero in order to upgrade them. So on the one side you have Xanders, on the other side you have Zardans, and look at this, like 100,000 mana difference, a lot less champion scrolls, a lot more of the knights testimonials here. The difference here is crazy, especially on those scales. Oh my gosh, am I the only one who hates farming scales? I mean, so in a way it's almost you get what you pay for, but really I think the game is very generous for you as far as other resources go. Whenever you go to promote 3-star units, it's taking a look at this breakdown. I mean, that's comparatively over the course of promoting a whole hero, it's super cheap. It is super cheap. Now the eldwater cost at the end is the same, and that's because that is going to upgrade all of your co-abilities. Editing Deltran here, I realized that I did leave out the cost of the 25,000 that it costs in order to make the unit 5-star to begin with. Really more, since we're talking 3-star to 5-star. You can think of that extra cost as sort of a customization cost. So if that is something that is deterring you, just remember, you have to pay that cost in order to make your own 5-star out of a 3-star versus just being lucky enough to pull one. So that's sort of where the difference is. Alright, back to the video. However, whenever you start upgrading these co-abilities, you're going to notice they're not going to be as powerful as their 5-star counterpoint. This goes to that endgame comment again. If you are upgrading somebody who's going to be giving you extra damage, or you're relying on them to be providing extra damage, they're not going to do the role nearly as well as what that 5-star will. Now, somebody else, not saying that other skills aren't as important, but if you have, say, a Lancer whose co-ability is health to the team, if you have them being promoted to 5-star from 3-star, it's going to be less of an impact, because when it comes down to it, certain skills are not going to be as bad for you whenever you lower percentages. Now, I've already hinted at it, in my opinion, and you may want to take a look at this yourself, but almost any 4-star that you are really happy with is going to be a good investment promoted up to 5. It's still cheaper resource-wise. They're going to have a good co-ability that's not top of the top there, but you know, it's going to provide well. And they're also going to have one more advantage over top of their 3-star brethren that I just haven't even talked about. 3-star units are very simple, and because of that, they don't even get a last skill. They just get either an additional 25% resistance bonus to one ability they already have, bringing it up to a total of 75% as opposed to 100% that everybody else enjoys, or they get 25% more in some other category. That's a weird flex, but okay. That's probably the one thing that really stops me from recommending to people wholeheartedly upgrading their 3-stars to 5-stars, is the fact that you don't have one pure resistance anymore. You don't have that guarantee that you can ignore something. That is actually worth a lot, at least cognitive load wise, if not anything else, so that you can actually just do your job. On the other hand, though, that doesn't mean the 3-stars are really nice and simple to run. You don't have a lot of tricks. You do put them on the field there. You can go ahead and learn how their combos work so you can force strike and everything appropriately. But honestly, if this is your idea of combat, just doing this maybe a little bit faster, then a 3-star's gonna suit your playstyle just fine. So if you're looking for me to actually give a yay or a nay, I would say nay to bringing them all the way up to 5-star. Bring them up to 4-star. That boost on that ring is wonderful, but I would not spend the material on them to bring them up to 5-star. You're going to want to use that eldwater to unlock co-abilities of other people, or just promote a 4-star, because honestly the gap there is small enough that it's not going to be detrimental in any way if you end up making a whole team of 4 stars like that. Whereas if you make a whole team of 3 stars compared to what a whole team of 5 stars would be, there's a big gap there. Once again, if your husbando or waifu is down there, just promote them. Just do it. You're going to be so happy with it, and you're not going to even find any real faults. That's how the love for a waifu or husbando works. So who are you still promoting now that you've learned all this information? Let me know down in the comments, and do me a favor, if you like your Dragalia Lost information hot and fresh like Grandma's cookies, hit that subscribe button. My name is Deltran. Thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate all of you, and until next time, take it easy.